So, good afternoon and welcome everyone to this web session on practical insights and experience sharing with regard to registration and listing on social scene being organized by ICMAI Social Auditors Organization. I'm Dr. S.K. Gupta, CEO of ICMAI SEO, welcoming you all wholeheartedly. Thank you so much. And the guest with us today for sharing his experience of the journey of registration and listing on the social stock exchange is founder and director from Unnati Foundation, Mr. Ramesh Swami, sir. Welcome, sir, to our
Thank
program.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we all celebrated Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and it was but natural for all of us to take stock as to where we are as a nation after 75 years of India's independence. Well, it's a matter of pride that we are the fifth largest economy of the world today, out of 195 odd countries in the world, which is a very, very significant achievement because 75 years in the life of a nation is not too long a period. But at the same time, we also find that we still have a long way to go so far as the quality of life of the people within the country is concerned, or in terms of social empowerment and empowerment of the marginalized and the underserved and the underprivileged segment of the society. We are looking at becoming Viksit Bharat by 2047. That is the culmination of 100 years of India's political independence. Government is coming out with various developmental schemes, various developmental instruments are being used to achieve that particular target. But government alone for a country of the magnitude and size of India cannot probably do single-handedly. We all have to become part of the whole journey. We all have to contribute in whatever way we can in building up Viksit Bharat moving towards 2047. And that's where the non-profit organizations play a very, very key and vital role because they provide the last mile connectivity, direct connect, direct touch at the ground level with the people who actually need to be brought up from the bottom of the pyramid. And that's where the NPOs are doing a significantly important job in India as well as across the world. The concept of social stock exchange is going to democratize giving. We all give donations. I mean, all of us, most of us, we give donations to some of the other causes, depending upon our passion and depending upon our commitment. But in order to make this giving part or in order to make the funding available to the NPOs in a structured manner and not intermittent, but on a regular basis, so that they can plan for their projects on a long-term basis, the whole concept of social stock exchange revolves around that only. As of now, over the period of last about 2.5 years, since the concept of social stock exchange actually took off in India, over 150 NPOs have registered on both NSE and BSE taken together, and 12 of them have also gone in for listing. There are 10, 11 NPOs which are in the pipeline going for listing, and some of the NPOs, including Unnati Foundation, they are also looking for tapping the market all over again, second time. That's where we have with us today Mr. Ramesh Swami, founder and director Unnati Foundation, to talk to us, interact with us, answer our queries, and also maybe dispel some of the misconceptions relating to the social stock exchange, its evolution, its concept, and the whole process of registration and listing. Welcome, Mr. Swami, sir. I would request you to kindly take it forward. Kindly give a brief about the work being done by Unnati Foundation in general, and then talk about your experience and journey of in two stages. First, the registration, and then secondly, over to listing. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dr. Gupta ji. It is an honor and privilege that I am on your webinar. It's a
Thank
very
you,
big
sir.
thing. I am not a finance guy, but
No, no,
I am here, right?
I know.
Um, the So what Unnati does, as you said, I'll just briefly talk about Unnati and the project under which SSC was there. So Unnati, the idea was, can we give one member in a family to earn, employment.
Yeah.
Employment was the idea. So 21 years back, we started off Unnati. It was a center model where youth used to come irrespective of their education qualification. We have 50 centers in the country. 300 hours of training happens in 35 days, calendar 35 days. English, life skills, values, computers, some vocation. End of 35 days, 35th day, they will have a corporate job. I cannot promise the company, I promise them the salary range of 15,000 to 20,000. This is guaranteed by us. Just to put to perspective how powerful this program is, when we dreamt of it and what has been doing. Take a case of your maid servant, or though somebody who's there, ask her that girl, a lady, what was your journey? She will say when she was 16, 17, 18, her father was a drunkard, did not give money. I was married off to somebody. The person to whom I was married off, 3, 4 years down the line, he started behaving funny. I had 2, 3 kids. I had to start working to manage my family, right? If this girl had come to Unnati instead of marriage,
Yeah.
what would have happened is, 35 days she will have a corporate job, ESI, PF. The ESI could have taken care of the health of her mother. Second thing, she will not be given off on marriage because she is becoming the main breadwinner to the family. Because of her, her brother, sister can get educated. Because of that, the whole family status starts changing. By 23, 5 years down the line, her own salary would have moved from 15,000 to 30,000. She'll obviously marry somebody who is earning 40, 50,000. So what happens in this short period of 5 years is, her family has moved out of 10,000 poverty kind of situation to 80,000 rupees. Plus, the most important thing is, she will ensure that her children are educated.
Yeah.
So that was the dream with which we started, and it has been extremely successful. We have done so more than 80,000 odd numbers in that space. Somewhere around 2018, we came across a person, a nodal placement officer of a government college, and he said, "Do you know, sir?" When we were talking about 100%, he said, "Do you know, sir? Less than 10% of a government college youth who passes out gets job." That means in Karnataka alone in those days, 150,000 youth used to come out, even today. ITI, BA, BCom, MCom, BSc, BBA, all these put together from the government colleges, 1.5 lakh youth, bulk of it from rural, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, right? And just imagine if less than 10% are getting jobs in a proper corporate, which has been, told by many people that there are many youth demographic advantages there, but they are not employable. This is a common statement we have all come across. This is a major serious problem. To put in perspective this problem, let me take a minute. Think of a case where my son and a farmer's son are sitting on the same table and doing graduation. Let's say my son is not good enough. He is not good in studies. The farmer's son is fantastic in studies. Both of them pass out. They go to a very big company for interview. Who do you think? My son has 60 marks. The farmer's son has got 90 marks. Who do you think gets that job in that multinational or big company? Unfortunately, it is my son. Why? Because his communication, his body language, the way he comes across is different. Now, this is very common. Anybody will answer this question. But what happens is, what does that boy farmer's son think is the criticality? He says, this boy who got 60 marks would not have passed if I had not taught him accounts. He didn't know anything. I taught him and he passed. He got this job because he has influence. He got this job because of his father. He got this job because the government does not take care of me. I am a marginalized person. The society does not take care. The anger in him is so high. Tomorrow, if he commits a crime, he will justify that crime, and that is dangerous. Tomorrow he will, it's like I hit you one slap, you hit me back. Somebody asks you, why did you hit him? You will say, he hit me first, I hit him back. So he's able to justify that crime, and that's dangerous. That is when we started this program called UNEXT. It's a in-house in the tier 4 villages, tier 3 villages, rural areas, where my person goes, delivers 100 hours of lectures over 30 days, 3 hours a day to the final year youth with an LMS learning management system, with a psychometric analysis and the Udyogam portal, which helps them to get local jobs and reduce migration. This is what UNEXT does. This is exactly what we asked the SSC to fund. They funded us with 1.8 crores. The first time the investors funded us with 1.8 crores. It was around, we thought that it would be around 9,000 youth, 2,000 rupees. Because of the scale, it came down, we delivered 11,006 youth. And apart from that, we are the first organization to complete the cycle, deliver the social impact report through one of your audit firms,
Yes, sir.
Blue
Yes.
Sky, and we
Yes.
delivered it. So
Yes.
this is what happened in the first case. We have completed everything.
Right.
Now, this has given us a reason why we should go again. So this is about Unnati. I will not go beyond. Everything is there in the domain, public domain, and I wish people look at it. What we have done special is our website unnatiblr.org has a section called SSC, where every document for registration, sample documents, what is to be written, how it has to be worded, the fundraising document, everything for listing is available. So it is a very, I am reminded, if I tell my son or my father tells me, in those days, we used to walk 3 kilometers to go to a school. The gender, that is your headache. Why are you? We are not, we are privileged children. We get car, you are given us car, we will go by car and come back by car.
Yeah.
So, similar case, if I talk of the difficulties of what we had during registration or listing, because being the first person and all that, it will not, it may not be of great
I
use.
know.
But today, it's there on the website. Every document is available. You ask a format, it's available there. You just have to download it, copy, change the name, and apply. So let me take one step back, because this is important for anybody who's an NGO here, sitting here, and it is important for any donor who is sitting here. When this was announced, one of the thoughts which came to us and why we did go to SSC was, as an NGO, even after 21 years, I'm sitting here and telling you what we do in Unnati. There will be a lot of people on the call right now thinking, this fellow is an NGO fellow. How can 35 days, how can he guarantee jobs? He must be telling like that. He may be getting jobs for 10 and he's saying 100. So these thoughts would be coming to their minds, right? And this thought comes to everybody whom we talk to, whether it be a donor, whether it be somebody, whether it be a government official. So the problem was that we had to face credibility deficit every step as an NGO. When SSC announced it, it was power actually for an NGO. What was the power? The power was a social stock exchange is looking into it. They are studying you. They are taking all the documents. So documentation part is phenomenal. An organization like SEBI is monitoring it. So compliance is being monitored. Right? Third, the transparency, the kind of transparency you need to have when you go for listing. I wouldn't say for registering. Registering is very, very easy.
Yeah.
Any ordinary organization which has got their basics in place, registration can happen. 15 days, don't go to anybody. You just go pick up all the papers and deliver, your registration will happen. So do not spend money, 1 rupee also on registration, except the fees which you pay for SSC registration under BSc or NSC.
Yeah.
BSc is at the moment, I think free NSC is 5,900, 5,000 plus 900, 18%, 5,900. So the amount being spent is for registration is very, very minimal, does not require any help. The documents, you are able to get it, 3 years balance sheet, the auditor's certificate that 67% of it goes for the poor people, all these things. Of course, 50 lakh of turnover. These are all simple things which are available, and these criteria are mentioned, and all those supporting documents are there already. So registration is very easy. So 4 pillars which I'm repeating. I talked about transparency. In listing, the transparency is very high to that such an extent that even the directors' children, their PAN numbers, everything what they are doing, all those disclosures come into picture. So it is a very genuine thing. So SSC listing is very, very genuine, and that's very important, right? The fourth pillar is impact assessment. We have very often it is seen that NGOs will talk about what all happens, what their program has created impact on. Can you measure it? Can you show it on measure? Generally, we have always faced problems. NGOs have faced problems. When you are in listing, and please listen to this aspect very clearly. If you are going for listing, and suppose your project is 5 years project, make sure that your impact assessment for each year 1, this is the money, this is the impact I will create. Year 2, this is the money, this is the impact I will create. The year 3, so your impact measurement criteria, everything has to be very, very, very clear. This is critical. So this is the beauty of that 4 pillars. 1, I talked about documentation. 2, about the credibility part of it, the transparency part of it, the compliance part of it, and 4th, the impact part of it, right? So this is what happens. So this is why we thought as an organization, can we go and get this authentication done? It started off as a journey there. We got our registration done very easily. We had no plans for listing, but some of the meetings, there were some donors who said that we will give money to the first few NGOs who list. And that triggered some kind of energy into us and said, oh, there is going to be new people, new donors who are ready to give us. So let's start working on it. And then we started our work on that. The critical aspect in this is a lawyer. When you go to listing, you need to have a proper lawyer. We had the support of one of the greatest groups, Trilegal, who helped us. Unite Us as merchant bankers helped us. And the RTA, Big Share, helped us. So our team was Big Share, the RTA, the Trilegal as the legal people, Unite Us, and our bankers, of course, were Axis Bank, who gave us the escrow account. So this was a team which worked on this. The legal document, in my opinion, is one of the most critical things, and ordinary NGOs cannot prepare it. Who is giving the data? We are giving the data. Every minute data is being given by the NGO. But can we represent it? No, sir. We will not be able to represent it. A lawyer is required to be represented. He only knows how to represent it. At one time, the costs were very high. It has started coming down. It is much lesser these days. I'll come to that cost part of it, and I'm sure somebody or the other will ask it also. So I'll talk about it. So the journey started, and when we were told that there are going to be newer people to come, it made us put it. We had a lot of efforts, lot of issues going in. We had to open, each time we had to open the path. Somebody will say Ind AS. Then we go back to the SEBI, go back to exchanges. They will come back, okay, Ind AS is not required. Somebody will say peer review not required. Somebody will talk about NCS guidelines. So every step we had to do, we had to keep doing it. And then we went in for listing on 25th of August. It took us almost 45 days of work. We made it happen. Then there were queries which were responded to, and then there was the general delay in terms of the SEBI, the SSCs wanting to have a big function, and then it got opened on 13th of December. The first issue got opened of ours very successfully. So it was a fantastic journey we had, and we were, believe me, we were quite shocked that we were among the first, because there are so many big NGOs who are doing such great work. And we thought we are very small, but because of the strength of all the background requirements, we could make it happen. Um, the project got completed. We had taken 1 year's time. On 6th of December, we completed. On May 31st, we submitted every detail of 2024. All the requirements were required. We submitted everything, and then subsequently the social audit also was completed by December, luckily, because the audit firm itself got done only by September or so. The license came only September or October, and we had to rush it and get it done, and we met the deadlines. We have gone in for one more. On Monday, we have applied one more for a small amount. Again, just 50 lakhs. The reason was, I believe that SSC is a phenomenal platform. SSC in the years to come is going to become a very, very strong platform. You take the case of CSR. When CSR came in 2013, it was very loose. You could just write a note and say, okay, we couldn't do it. Things have kept changing. Rigors, a lot of rigor has come in, strictness has come in. Today, the directors, the people are afraid to sign a report if it is not all right. So that kind of stringency has come in. I believe that SSC will go that way, and in the years to come, it will become very, very strong. So my advice to a NGO sitting here on this call today is, please do not look at it as just a fundraising requirement. Please look at it as a survival. There's a great possibility. Today, many NGOs who did not do things are not getting CSR funding, right? Tomorrow, it could happen that you are not on SSC, you may not be there, you may not be surviving as an NGO. There are big things which can happen, a social impact bond. There are so many aspects which will come up. So I believe that SSC is a phenomenal platform. ZC, zero coupon, zero principal, ZCZP principle, instrument is a very small thing, a starting point, but there are many, many big things to come. I will just wait for some reaction and then take it forward, Gupta ji.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. So, any one of the participants, any questions or your views with regard to the basic concept that Mr. Swami has introduced, his journey about registration and listing on the social stock exchange? Any one of you, please, most welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. I think it was wonderful to conduct this kind of session
Thank
for
you,
us. And a specific question to Mr. Swami, because he's a veteran over here.
Yeah.
And impact measurement. So what he talked about, the impact measurement, if you can just get in little detail about it, and what kind of metrics and what kind of dashboards you, or the kind of data you have accumulated, so that you can get into that particular objective of giving that true and fair vision of your NGO. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. So one is we did, when I say we did for 11,006 youth training. So we actually have and very good question. One step before that, let me again talk about it, so that I'm trying to tell things which will be useful to many NGOs on this call. Okay, so pardon me, I will answer your question. Before that, if you have to be in SSC kind of platforms, it is very important. My own advice is, ensure that your IT infrastructure, your information technology infrastructure is good. It's not good, it is excellent. Start spending money, start doing the right things in data collection, data analytics is one. Second thing, somewhere where we are very, very weak is we always use tally kind of thing. Not that tally is not good, but you need speed. You need also the rigor of going into small details. And so serious softwares which can help you today, there are many softwares available on accounting, etc. So bring in that ERPs, those kind of things. I'm not against tally, we all use tally, it's a fantastic thing, but we will require better and better things. Your FCRA into the same accounting package, you're not getting out of it, going here. So IT, strengthen it as much as you can so that your many other things flow. Coming to your specific question, and again, you're supposed to be completing your audit, your financial audit, and submitting it on 31st of May. In my life of 3 odd decades plus, my finance accounts will be signed by my auditor. Suppose 30th September is the last day, 29th of September he will sign. 31st October is the last day, 30th October he will sign, right? Suddenly, 31st May is the last day. We were ready, we were prepared because those days 35 AC also was there, which had 31 May. Many of the people are not ready, and 31st May is your deadline, which means that your back end, your continuous audit things have to happen, which means that your software should be ready for those kind of things so that online you're able to share, you're able to get your audits done quicker. So it's a process. So please look at it as a process, right? Now, so what luckily we were there is the entire 11,000 odd comes through a cloud platform. The youth details, which college, what taluk, pin code, everything is captured, right? All that is captured. Then our metrics was very simple. Because we went to SSC, we reduced our metrics little bit. We said 60% will fall under 3 categories. One, self-employment. It could be farming, job. This could be all put together, could be one matrix. Higher education, right? So because youth from the final year go into higher education, and it could be these 3. So we said we will ensure 60% result under these heads after the training and the impact of the training. We have done much better than that. But because it was government for the first time, we didn't want SSC. We made it 60. We are doing better than that. We do more than 70%. So we brought it down to 60. So this is what we achieved, and this is what is the report also, which will say. The report had various other parameters which we had not thought of. And beautifully it has come through the blue sky. For example, let me tell you this. It shows that 81% of the beneficiaries belong to SC, ST, and OBCs. And the balance 19 obviously are from economically poor sections of the society. So it was a phenomenal kind of a report which has come, which is shared, which is in public domain. It's available to you in public domain. So this is important. In our case, because we completed it in 1 year within the time frame, we had to look at only that part of it as the impact measurement. But take a case where somebody is doing school education and you are helping 1st standard to 10th standard, and this money is being used from 1st standard to 10th standard. You cannot give a measurement of saying that at the end of 10th standard, this boy would get 80% marks. Not possible. You will have to make it as 1st standard, I'm spending this money and this is the impact in the 1st standard. 2nd standard, I use so much people's money also and so. This is the impact I'll show you at the end of 2nd year. 2nd standard. That is the kind of things which will happen. It is tough, but that is what is called for, because when you're talking of SSC, we are talking of how can we bring in transparency and accountability and impact into such large amounts of money. That's the whole aspect behind it. I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you very much, sir. I think I have got little two questions more.
Yes, please.
One
Please,
you talked about, the ERP specific to NGO. Can you just suggest few names?
We use Atlas.
Atlas.
Yeah, it's from Bangalore-based. So there, Jayashree is there. There are many others too, sir. There are many others too. But we use Atlas, which is beautiful. It gives you a perspective of wherever, individual accounts, individual FCRA, this one, everything separately maintained, because it's becoming so difficult, right? Recently also FCRA rules, they brought in certain things, make sure, you are not supposed to mingle it. You're not supposed to, even the interest, what comes. So compliance is becoming very difficult. And if we don't gear up our team to manage it, and as an NGO, you cannot get the best people. You are going to get people who are lesser, who have to become good by doing the same thing repetitively. So there's a discipline which is more required. So these softwares helps you in that discipline.
And second is that when you are going for SSC, how far data they you need to have, and for example, you are already operating for 21 years. So when you went for SSC, how long you have? 3 years.
3 years, 3 to 5 years is good enough.
3 to 5 years is good enough for making in case out of it.
Yeah,
Thank you,
even
sir.
we are also giving that much only. We don't give 21 years data.
Okay, great. So any other comments, views, please? Any questions?
Yeah.
Yes, madam.
Hello, Mr. Dr. Gupta. Nice to see you here as well. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll just drop you a message as well. So
Sure.
I'm very inspired by the cause of, especially when it comes to literacy and upgrading people's skills. That's actually a domain of strength, and I do a lot of work there. So I'm happy to volunteer. I'd like to rather more like volunteer for this purpose. So I'll need some guidance on how I can support.
Sure. My email ID is rameshswamy@unnatiblr.org. So if we can take it forward, because there are so many activities which we can do. Where are
Yeah.
you based out of, and your name, please?
Nalina, Suresh, Nalina, Narayan, and Suresh have mentioned here in the chat as well.
I can't see the chat. That's okay.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay. So how do I make note of
Yeah.
how do I
So
contact?
Ramesh Swamy, can you type it? Is it possible?
Yeah. 1 second. I'll just type it on my chat, WhatsApp actually.
RAMESH
Yes.
SWAMY.
Just a second, please. One second. RAMESH
SWAMY.
as one word, is it?
Yeah, one word.
Okay.
At Unnati BLR, UNNATIBLR Bangalore.org.
.org. Got it. So yes, I'm just sending you a message. Yeah, on this mail ID. Yeah. Thanks.
Sure.
So today, Ramesh sir, today we got connected in the LinkedIn, so I will be messaging or whatever. I am also working on education kind of thing, but I am from hardcore corporate side, and what I realized is that there is a huge problem, especially in the tier 2 or tier 3 kind of cities where people are coming out of the college. Even as you said, that 10% of the people are employable. But my take is that it is in very, very bad shape. And with all the whole AI and all the automation coming in, the lower level jobs are literally vanishing. I mean, that's the whole criteria. And we have got no choice but to really make self-employment. I think that's the one of the thing, and my NGO is specifically focusing on that part. And I will definitely connect with you so we can really learn from you. And because you are a veteran and you understand this much
No,
more,
it's a
21
journey,
years.
sir.
Yes,
It's a
sir.
journey
Yeah.
for all of us. No.
Absolutely.
So I think I'm pretty much excited to connect with you and learn and really whatever
Yes.
help I can offer to you,
Yeah.
that will be great thing. I'm in cost accountant, so
Yes,
I'm
sir.
yeah, I'm in cost accountant, so I have a little finance background, and then for 32 years I've been in the corporate, and now for the last 1.5 years I have opened my own NGO and said that this is a huge, and I'm from NCR. So
Yeah.
Yes.
if you can,
Sure.
we can look forward. Thank you, sir.
Definitely. Definitely.
Thank you,
Definitely.
sir. Thank you. Mr. Rituraj Kumar, you have some views, sir? Kindly unmute yourself. Mr. Rituraj Kumar, you have some views?
Is he writing something?
No. Okay, he's writing properly. So one of the question is that what was
Yeah.
the toughest challenge in compiling the project report with respect to impact assessment for listing on SFC?
Yeah. So, no, the toughest challenge was, when you make the fundraising document,
DHRD.
that's
Yeah. DFRD.
DFRD,
Yeah. Draft fundraising document.
draft of the fundraising. It asks you every detail. It's so many, as I told you, including your family background, all the directors' family background. Where from you did, how do you do it? The 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 risk. An NGO never thinks about risk.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are all optimists. We never think about risk.
Yeah.
And we have to write risks after risks after risks. So somewhere, the lawyer will say, no, this can be a problem. We say, no, that is not a problem. What if the donation does not come? What if this does not happen? So we will say, no, these are, no, we'll manage. We don't know. So they will put across questions, create risk. Then once you have created, okay, you write the risk. It doesn't matter, madam, you write the risk. It's okay for me. No, now you tell me what is the mitigation part of it. So you have to work with the lawyer on a continuous basis. So you have to understand how they come from, where they come from, because they are treating you like any other commercial company. That's how an NGO is being treated. So many of the NGOs will not recognize this aspect of it because they have not got the corporate background. They will say, no, madam, it happens. We also said, it happens, madam. It will happen. Somebody will come and give donation, madam. So this is not, they don't accept it. They say, sure, how does it happen? So what is the mitigation? What happens if they don't give? What happens if this does not happen? So those are some of the challenges. And of course, because we were the first, today it is not a big challenge. Your NCS rules, your peer review, your Ind AS, all these things, company secretary. The rule says you must have a full-time company secretary.
Yeah.
Where will an NGO
I know.
appoint a company secretary full-time? Where is the money? Can I appoint somebody for a few lakhs, over 10 lakhs, who will sit and do nothing throughout the year, who has no work throughout the year, just to,
Yeah.
so a lot of these aspects came up. and we had to go back to SEBI, we had to go back to exchanges, we had to get those corrections, and they had to internally discuss. They had to discuss internally because they also were new, so they didn't have an answer. They will have a meeting done and say, okay, this is not correct, this is right. So we used to write, they will say, give us a clear picture of what you're talking. We used to write to them, then they will understand that, have calls. So it was one of the biggest challenge. I've heard in my corporate days also there were some people who used to conduct meetings at 2:30 night and all. I've
Mm.
heard. Uh, it happened to me when we were listing. We had lawyers call happening at
Yeah.
2:30. Then they will work till 4:30, send papers, and we used to work in the morning and send back the replies. So
I
it
know.
was
Right.
like that.
Right. So based upon your experience of having gone through both registration and the listing process, any suggestions that you want to give at the policy level so that possibly we can take it up with the appropriate authorities and see that things can be streamlined, ease can be brought in subsequently?
So
Any one or two key suggestions from practical perspective?
very important aspect, sir. I tell you, you take a case of this SSC.
Yeah.
Today you are telling ATG. It is a carrot which has no strength, right?
Yeah.
Today you in your budget you are saying 72% of the people have moved to the new regime, right?
Absolutely.
Which has so ATG has no meaning, right? Now you want to make SSC strong. You want to bring in 20 crores, 20,000 crores into the pipeline, measure it, do it happen, right? Retailers, why will they give? I take a joke. There are two things which I take an insurance case. If somebody is taking insurance, the first question, how much is my return on insurance? Insurance is not taken because of life. Array, your life is in danger if you don't do it. That is not our mentality. There's an ad, he sees a yacht and he's going to buy the yacht and he says, how much kilometer would this yacht give?
Yeah.
That is the kind of thought process we all have, mentality. Now, why will somebody give money when there's no benefit attached to
Yes.
it? My suggestion is you had a 35 AC, 100% tax exemption. This is far stronger than 35 AC because
Mhm.
this is being monitored by highest authorities in the country. No organization, nobody has done so. Give it a huge 100% kind of thing. Bring in that kind of a system, right? Allow CSR funding, allow part of the CSR funding to happen. Today, you don't have CSR funding in, right? So bring it that. So there are few things like this which could make a huge difference. Today, you are not seeing many NGOs come into it because what does the NGO think? The NGO thinks I am collecting 100 rupees.
Mm.
If I, whatever be my size of the issue, the minimum cost would be in the range of around 10 lakh of rupees. Minimum, I'm saying. It is much more than that in the sense if you take the overall picture. You are supposed to pay nearly 2.5 lakhs for your impact assessment, your escrow account, your lawyer fees, right? These CDSL charges, NSDL charges, your SSC charges, all this, RTA charges, right? All these are going to cost you. These are direct costs which are involved. Little bit of publicity, all those. These are direct costs. The indirect costs, when I was not listed, my auditor used to charge me much lesser. The day I got this done, now his rating has gone up. He said, no, I have to be very careful. I have to do this. I have to do regularly quarter. So his charges go up. Earlier, if I had two people to manage my accounts, today I have to have four people because 31st May I have to give my accounts.
Yes.
So indirectly also there are costs going up, right? So there is a cost involved. Now the person says, if I get 100 rupees, I'm spending 10 rupees, I'm getting 90 rupees. And who is giving this money? These are generally in the initial phase from your own set of people,
Yeah.
your own known people. Now the NGO starts thinking, why should I take from my friend 100 rupees, spend 10 rupees and get 90 rupees? Whereas if I go directly, he gives me 100 rupees, I maintain 100 rupees. Right? So
That's
this
right.
question is a problem question. So this question has to get mitigated by the fact that there will be others who will apply and give you money.
Mhm.
What is the benefit for that person? You have a good friend who's running an NGO. Why will you come and give it to Unnati just like that? You will want to give it to your friend itself. But because I am in SSC, because there is certainty, and because you get some benefit, you will entertain, you will become a retail investor for
Investor.
SSC. So
Sure.
this is a critical aspect. I think it has to be looked into very seriously.
Absolutely. Good. So, any more views, please? Otherwise, I think we close this session with the highly interactive session with Mr. Ramesh Swami, where he candidly shared his experience of both registration listing and also was kind enough to suggest some measures for boosting up the ecosystem of social stock exchange. Sir, we hugely thank you on behalf of ICMAI, Social Auditors Organization, and all the participants present here for your candid interactive session with our participants. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. I am honored. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.